prophet must be prophet. And his name is written in Quran.
Is in Quran?
Yes.
Where?
I think in Surah Al-An'am. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. What you are saying, Abdullah?
To speak to Yahya. I'd like to hear what you have to say.
Yes. Now, Sheikh Yahya may ask what he is going to ask.
Yes, now in the morning you said there would be no use of my going to India. This you should have explained.
Yes. For what you are going to India.
Now I think I've already found some kind of tariqah, some spiritual path. And I'm much more familiar to Hindu philosophy than to the Islamic philosophy. And I think it would be also possible for me to find a spiritual teacher as well in India as well as here. And you think this would not be possible?
Now, this instrument, some people hardly working, and they are doing this instrument. What is the principles of these instruments? They found, and they are arranging and making this tape recorder. Is there any necessity for us to return to search for searching what is the principles that they find, we shall find, and making this?
There's no necessity for us. We have a tape recorder.
Yes, here it is.
There's necessity for a few hundred Syrian lira. That's about all.
Yes. Now, searching about Hindus' philosophy, or Chinese philosophy, or Persian philosophy, or others' philosophies. Now, we must look what is the most important and most improved tariqat now on the world. What is that? There is one 40 or 50 philosophic ways. What is among all these tariqas or philosophic ways or philosophic schools? What is the famous one now? You can't find most improved than Sufism in Islam. All of them in the when we are making qiyas, measuring them with Islamic Sufism, they are going to be nothing. Or everything that carrying every philosophical school you may find in Islamic Sufism. Most completely. They may signing something, but complete existence for that thing you may find in Islamic Sufism. Therefore, it is better to understand firstly what philosophers what they are going, or what they are meaning from making philosophical schools, or in other words, for what is philosophy? This question, when we are taking answer, if we can give an answer for philosophy, must meet all of them in that, on that meaning. Understand it? On that point must meet all of them. If they are not meeting, it is not philosophy. If the meaning of philosophy changing according to persons or schools, it is not philosophy. Or it means philosophy has not any base, strong base to build on it any building. If philosophy going to be changed in every mind, in every century, in every nation, it means philosophy has not any mustaqir.
Firm basis. Firm basis. Firm basis.
From basis?
Firm basis.
Firm basis.
Foundation.
Any foundation. You can't find any foundation for philosophy. Therefore, it is only wasting our precious lives for nothing. And it is such, we are saying, that philosophy has so many meanings in every mind, in every century, in every country. Therefore, no, you can't find any time to meet all philosophers in one point. You can find every philosophy going from center out, as his mind ordering to him or signing to him. They are not coming from out to center. Perhaps they are from center moving and going in different directions. Isn't it so? Yeah. We are asking, what is the center of philosophy? What is their main goals for all philosophers. You can't find the mushtarak,
The common.
common goal for all philosophers, because just they are doing, just I am saying now, they are from center to out, they are going.
So how can you find the center, Maulana?
When you can't find the center, therefore there is no philosophy in Islam. But because philosophy no basing on any firm foundation. Bring to me two philosophers coming on the same point with their ideas. Philosophers leave them to meet with another, even they are mukhtalif.
Different?
They are different. They are going to be in different.
In disagreement. In disagreement.
In disagreement in themselves also. Even a philosopher, when he is hungry, saying something, when he is full up, another mind coming. When he is night-time thinking, another daytime sun shining time, another thinking coming to him. When he is winter time, his thoughts in another way. When in summer time, another way thinking. When he is young, his mind another. When he is old person, changing, and he is fighting his thoughts when he was young. When you can find then two persons, two philosophers to meet on the same goal. Therefore, philosophy no base for it, for a building. Therefore, you may see all philosophers making private schools for themselves. Therefore, in Islam, no philosophy. Some ignorant people, they are saying Islamic philosophy. In Islam, there is reality.
Allahu Akbar.
No
Allahu
philosophy.
Akbar.
No.
La ilaha illallah.
La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. You understand now?
Yes.
It is clear? I may discuss for everyone on that point. This is reality. No imagination in Islam. This is the ways of philosophers. Therefore, Mr. Sheikh Yahya may go to look after Indian philosophers, what they are saying in themselves, because they only using their minds. Philosophers, they are imprisoned in their
Philosophical edifice.
Philosophical
Edifice.
edifice. What's
It's a
that?
building, like a limit compartment.
Yes, they can't coming out. And if a man, because if a man know cutting out that wall that his mind putting in front of him, he can't reach to reality. They are always going in the prison of their minds.
Are you saying then that in order to reach reality, we have to silence our own minds or get beyond our own minds? Or
Yes, we may, because in ourselves, as Allah Almighty say, in ourselves and in outer life and in ourselves, so many things that it is impossible for minds to solve them. No solution with our minds we can find for those happenings in ourselves or in outer life, in universe.
Not through experimental and empirical knowledge also.
No, because so many things you can't try them, you can't see them, you can't imagine them. Therefore, we must believe that some realities for understanding it is not enough our minds. We must use our spiritual powers for understanding. For example, in ourselves we have spiritual life, we have spirits, we have souls, but what is that? Or we are saying, we may say, we are alive, we have lives, and we can't explain what is the secret of life and what is the secret of death. But it is a event you can't deny. You can't deny it, but you can't explain what is the secret of life. Even in a cell, you may put there everything that containing a cell from materials.
you still wouldn't have life.
What is that secret? You can explain with your mind? It is impossible. But there is a reality. There is life. And so many things. Now, man is proud with their knowledges, but their knowledge is only like a drop from an ocean in front of their unknown knowledges. Yes. But philosophers, they are using only their minds, no accepting. After mind, there is another some powers man has been given. If they are accepting this, they must accept prophets. No any philosopher listening to one prophet. They are such a foolish people, all philosophers, they are not accepting this instrument. They are saying, no, we are not accepting this. We must think, we must find what is the principles, and we must do this. And if I am saying this, what are you saying to me? You are foolish, you are mad.
But there are also people in, for example, in Hindu tradition, and who are not philosophers really. They say that they are mystics, and that they follow revelation. They consider their books also to be.
What does it mean, mystic? Mystic khurafa, also.
Superstition.
Huh?
Superstition.
What is?
Khurafa. Superstition.
Mystics.
Khurafa.
What is the mystics means?
To be in communication with Allah Almighty. To be turned to Allah Almighty.
To have marafat.
Mystics.
I mean, they're also claiming, what I'm saying, they're also claiming that they are believing in certain revelations and prophets, but a different tradition, and they claim building upon this.
What is the meaning of mystics in Arabic?
Tasawwuf. Mysticism.
Tasawwuf.
Mysticism irfan.
العارف العارف
إنهم يدعون إلى المعرفات يقولون
العارف
نحن عرفاء بالله
عرفاء؟
عرفين
عارفين. Mystics. If it is tasawwuf, yes, we are saying also the same thing, because everything in our life going to improving everything, or developing everything. Then we are not going to study on the first machines. Now there is electronical machines going on, and yet we are asking what is the principle of the first machine, how it was water boiling and going around this, around that. For what this?
So you're saying that, like, Hindu,
you have too much time to waste? Yes. For what Indian scripture? What?
Scripture.
Huh?
Scriptures.
No, mystics. For what Indian mystics for us? No development coming on people since 4,000 years. No development coming. All our European people running after Indian philosophers, Indian mystics, and in front of them, most complete and developed mystics, tasawwuf is ready.
Well, you know, of course, that Ibrahim and myself and Tarek, and I believe yourself, have all been influenced by Indian mysticism before we came to Islam. We all came to Islam partly through our concern with Indian mysticism. We began studying Sufism through that.
Because you are interesting Western people in interest, always Oriental countries, Oriental thoughts, Oriental things. As Oriental people, they are always interested in Western countries. This is only. And as much as you are full up with by Christian or Jewish priests or religious people do not look to Islamic principles, but your heart is boiling, you are finding a way to Indian mystics, then little by little from it
coming back.
Yes. Develop.
Finding the middle, لا شرقية ولا غربية.
This is the point. ومن الله التوفيق.
middle of the world. It's not coming in the east and not in the west. This verse is referring to that, or is not correct?
Actually, Islam is a pure Western religion. So the Eastern religion would be India, in between China and the Abrahamic traditions. Okay, but they're not part of the. I mean, there's very little cultural movement back and forth. They're off on the sides, but they're all developed.
What? Understand? What is the philosophy?
Before coming here, I come from India and Pakistan.
Philosophy. So much.
Me too, Maulana. I was jumping up in front of Asnam, subhanallah. Shaving my head with clappings. I was. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Your question.
For 6 months.
You are interesting now with that
No.
place?
No, not at all.
Games.
I'm interested in bringing some people from there to ride through path.
Yes.
Some of old friends from there to bring them off of this. Dalala.
After, yes.
After we have.
Yahya didn't mean to say philosopher in the sense of philosopher, but of religious person, you see.
We will speak after.
What? Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
In short, every time you've spoken about the same question. I say that a person who wants to come closer to God, to achieve God's nearness, should have a spiritual guide. The vast majority of people really need a spiritual guide. And Yahya feels he wants to go pretty much on his own. He feels a master, a Sheikh, is not really necessary.
Is not
Necessary.
he says.
نعم هو يقول هو لا يحتاج الشيخ يعني قلبه نيته طيبة فيقول لا يحتاج الشيخ وأنا أقول لا الشيخ لازم حتى الرجل يعني قلبه طاهر مضبوط.
Understand.
Sorry?
You say
I'm
English.
sorry. Yeah, I say that a person really, even a person whose intention is very sincere and who's very intelligent, will still need a spiritual guide. And he says, no, that at this point a spiritual guide isn't necessary. At this point in the history of human development, a spiritual guide isn't necessary.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. You understand what is the question?
Yes.
It's important.
I thought if a sincere surrender is done, a sincere surrender to the divinity within, to the God within, to the eternal soul, or eternal self, then it might not be necessary at first in the beginning to have a spiritual guide. Then it just serves as a stage of purification. And if this purification is perfect, then actually one can get into contact with this inner self, with this eternal self within. So this work of purification would be my own work, and if it is done, then such an access to the inner self would be possible, to the God within.
Without the master, without teacher?
Yes, now this soul, this roof would be the master, I thought. If one purifies, if one gets rid of passions, of egoisms, then one gets feel possible to get into contact.
Purification. For purification, we are in need some